Oh, I mean, probably equal pay chance after the final. And I think, they were saying equal pay, but could have been saying a lot of things. I think this team has always fought for so much more, and that's been the most rewarding part for me. Of course, playing in World Cups and winning championships and doing all that, but to know that we've used our really special talent.
Oh my gosh,
to do something,
done. I'm
that's
already
really
done with this chick.
change the world forever.
What's your favorite? I think it's equal pay. It's I don't want to say it exactly as I said it on break, but it's a slow news day when I'm talking about this dumb broad. Welcome back to the show. Top of the second hour. So I think this is actually a peek inside a cultural movement. Because it's not really about Rapinoe, and it's not about women's soccer either. And of course, we're all talking about she missed her penalty kick. I mean, it was just the most schadenfreude moment I've ever seen. And I mean, she lost it and ended up 5-4 victory for Sweden over the US. I mean, this was the chick that got what medal did she get? She got Presidential Medal of Freedom or something for her activism in 2022. I just want to reiterate, she got a medal because she bitched about her vagina. No, it's accurate. You can get mad with my phrasing, but if you're angrier over the way I said it than what she actually did and got a medal for, then you're disturbed. So it's on you, not me. That's true, though. It's entirely true. You can go out and you can complain about being a chick, and you're literally given a medal for it. What's funny is that she would have been excoriated and canceled if she had played against men who wanted to identify as women and run her off of her team. She would have been an activist against that because she is a scenester. She is a situational activist. She cares when it suits her. She cares when it is best to her advantage. She cares if there's benefit in doing so. Case in point, have you ever seen her speak up for any of these other female athletes who are being literally actually disenfranchised? Who are being removed from teams or demoted on the podiums because they're beaten by a dude who wants to wear a skirt? No, you haven't, because it's, situational for her. If she thought for 1 sec, I mean, that's actually, the irony is that because she kind of gave some word salad in support of dudes who wanted to cosplay as women. So she actually betrayed her own cause. I don't know why she's being celebrated as some major activist because she's betrayed her own cause. I mean, she's like, oh, well, equal pay. The whole thing that makes people mad about the whole equal pay thing as it relates to soccer, because we know that it's a myth when we're looking at the rest of the workforce. In fact, the main study that they base this on, and I've written about this, there have been scores of really good deep dives into this. They actually ignored the choice that women were making, and they also were trying to compare entry-level female positions with those of like doctors, etc., who are men, and then trying to make an argument that way. Women are starting to outpace men in terms of CEO positions, but that's a whole other story. The issue is that she's trying to say, equal pay for women in soccer. But in order to say that they are unequally paid and they're penalized strictly for sex is to ignore the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is that women's soccer does not get as many eyeballs as men. You don't see people lining the streets for somebody like Megan Rapinoe, but you do for Lionel Messi. Like in Dallas, they were everywhere. I have a friend who was like down there and was like, I just watched the team like pull. Like, I mean, they were like, there were pictures on Facebook. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that. There's like this resurgence this growing fandom for the sport. There, it was always pretty popular, and I think women more so than men were all, at least in the United States, played soccer. I think a third of the girls in the United States play soccer or have at one point. More so than the dudes do. But there's this growing fandom for soccer in the United States. I mean, all of that is and I think some of that is also fueled by people are just tired of the politicization of sports everywhere else, and they want to be able to just support the athleticism and get involved in it because, everybody always looks like they're having so much damn fun whenever you're watching these matches. I mean, it really does. So You don't see people lining the streets for Megan Rapinoe. In fact, she makes it toxic. I've never seen anyone actually turn people against a sport the way she does. If you want someone to oppose something, make her the face of it. I mean, she is a walking Bud Light bottle. I mean, it's crazy. And she makes it absolutely toxic. So you're denying the reality that not enough people watch soccer as women's soccer, as men's soccer. Now, what's weird is that the fault of it is the women. You have a third of the girls in the United States that play soccer, but yet you still have more people watching men's soccer matches than women's soccer matches. Something's not adding up, is it? If you want to blame someone, blame your own damn feminists, your little millennials and your baby Gen Xers and everybody else. Blame everybody else. Or you don't have to blame anyone and you can just get the hell over it and go on with life. I mean, not everything has to be a struggle where you're a victim. I realize that that's the number one job profession in America, victimhood, but not everybody has to be a victim. And the other thing is too, like I said, she was forcefully dragging people into an area where they didn't want to be. They didn't want politics with their soccer. They didn't want any of this. All of this is because she just is thirsty for attention. So the thing about equal pay, women make choices. Also, the idea that, they make choices. They choose, equal pay elsewhere. That's what a lot of that was chalked up to. Women just by nature choose different positions and different hours, etc., and have different priorities than men. There was this one story which I thought was really hysterical. They had, I don't know if you knew this, so Elle Decor. Have you guys ever heard of that? No, because you're dudes. Well, the ladies, have you ever heard of it? No, because you're busy. You're raising your kids and you're paying bills. It's like this fancy bougie decorating magazine. Let me share with you this. So it goes, step inside Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird's ultra stylish New York City apartment. Now, property's expensive in New York. And so you have this Megan Rapinoe who got with a female WNBA player. My gosh, of course it makes sense. And they have a huge apartment in New York City. I mean, this is a fancy, bougie apartment. They have this whole thing. Oh, look at their big, spacious apartment in New York City. That seems like, and she's also simultaneously complaining about equal pay. While she lives in a place that a handful of average American homes, you'd have to sell a handful of them to buy. Is that not a little bit disjointed there? She lives in this bougie New York City flat, totally decorated to the nines. All the latest stone for the countertop, the latest fixtures, the latest appliances. They have very expensive art on the walls. I mean, they have floor-to-ceiling windows. It is super bougie. It's all decorated to the nines. It's featured in these design magazines. And she's also complaining, you guys, about equal pay. Meh. Because not enough people want to watch her play soccer. I mean, she lives in a pad that's nicer than most people's homes. I mean, it's swank. If you're wondering where all the marble in the world is, it's in their kitchen. Their whole damn island looks like it's made of marble. Juan's throwing just some images up from this spread. I mean, super swank, dude. Like the paint job on the walls, they got a Japanese toilet, don't they? That looks like Kane. It looks like they got a Japanese toilet. That's a Japanese toilet. How much you want to bet that it sings to you when you approach it?
I don't see a bidet, though.
That's a Japanese toilet, isn't it? Isn't that one of them fancy toilets?
It does kind of look like it.
Looks like one. It looks like one. I'm just saying. That's a fancy bathroom. She's got a fancy pad. Kane loves, his favorite video is her missing all her open net goals. How many did she miss, man?
All of them in that
All
video?
of them.
All of them in the video?
If you had to count all of them, all of the ones that she's taken, she's missed all of them. But oh my gosh, you guys, equal pay. We can't play it because we'll get sued by the network that first aired it, because they got rights over the thing. Equal pay. Something like that. Can I like get around the licensing issue if I complain about like equal pay or being a woman or something? Isn't that what happens? All I got to do is bitch that I'm a woman and I get freebies. Isn't that how it works? Meh, I'm so trod upon. Meh, give me my stuff. And then all I got to do? Make it rain. Where are the goodies at? Where's the goodie room? Come on. Like, you just complain about being a chick and the goodies come down like manna from heaven. Isn't that how that works? Meh. Wait, now here's the other thing. Don't they get don't they get money? Don't they get an extra money that the men earned for them? Red State has a deep dive on this. I know, we were kind of joking at first, but now it's time to get mad. So the women's whatever, they wanted to share in the men's World Cup earnings. And remember, they had signed a contract. These chicks' agents didn't, I guess, show up for them, so they wanted to contest it by doing what I was just telling you about. Complain about being a woman, and the goodies rain down. So now they have to share World Cup earnings. The men literally have to pay a fee to the women because they're women. The men earned $11.7 million from their 2022 World Cup performance. The women just 2.9, and they lost to Sweden. And the men lost $4.4 million. 23. So the women, instead of pocketing what they earned, they get to divide an additional almost $4.5 million. So every player on the men's team lost almost $200,000 per player. They earned it. They did the work, but they don't get to keep it. Because patriarchy, that's their patriarchy fee. They have to pay $4.5 million to the women's team because of the patriarchy. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a bunch of broads trying to convince you that the matriarchy doesn't exist. That's what it sounds like.